everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been an interesting week. I've given the cladding a lighter coat, but I'll be honest with you, I've lost my nerve with this, which is really strange. I need to start putting some detail in, and putting the detail in absolutely terrifies me. I am going to do it. But before I set about doing that, I'm working on rounding the edges on the side of the building. I'm working on rounding the edges to entrances, so that'll be the front door and also on the windows. So there isn't a sort of full stop, have chopped it off look. And also I'm creating now like a thicker step at the bottom of the doors, in order that when I finally put the house in place, I can then put another step. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So follow along. It's a bit of a repeat performance really from everything else that I've done, but I've been able to get things, I think, the way I would like them. I'm also trying to deal with the apertures on the windows into the family area of the kitchen, and I'm still working on that. But let's see what I'm up to, and you can see the mess I've created. So first off, I'm going to paint up some sills, some door steps, and I'm using the stone paint to do this. So this is going to need a couple of coats, and then when I come to do the third coat, it will be a careful coat because it will be in situ. Once I think I've finished the cladding, I'll then put a final coat on everything around the property. I'm just going to do the first coat on these. This is a strange little setup, but this actually sits quite nicely and will create a good doorstep. So that's the top of it. So I need to get the paint down the cracks and crevices, and then along the front. Here are another two that I've done, although at the moment they're stuck together, which isn't a good idea. Yeah, here's another one, and this is all going to work. I've measured these out in the gaps, and I'm very happy to be putting this stone paint on. And then I might do some trimming down, but just for the moment I really am pleased with this. They've all stuck together nicely. Yes, it's really strange. I've lost my nerve a little bit on the cladding. I don't think it's a long-term thing. I don't feel it's going to stop me from doing it. I just, you know, it's applying those different shades and tones and of paint to get that effect that I'm after, of stonework. I may well opt to use some of this paint as well. This always gives a lovely creamy stone look, so I might well use some of this. But for the moment, those can go off and dry. Let me just check I've done the ends on these, because that's always a bit that we'll get to see. And these there are lintels and window sills on the outside. Right, so I think that's it for now. I can't do any more with those. They will need another coat of paint, and I will get those done once these have dried. So in order to speed the drying process, I'm going to sit these on a radiator and let them dry out, and hopefully I can get back to them pretty soon. So the other thing that I'm doing just at the moment, and I'm sorry, I'm a bit wobbly, is I'm trying to get the curves at this point so that you can see the stonework that's going around and in. Let me see if I've got a better bit. Here's one I've done where I've started to do it. I've just got to paint that, and you'll start to see the ridges of the stones, but everything has been cut at a 45-degree angle. This side hasn't been done, so you see how it stops. It needs to be better than that. And the other thing I've done just for now is I've taped off the French door and the back door on the rear of the house, because obviously I don't want to get stone paint and other paint on any of the woodwork. I'm going to show you now what I'm doing as far as curving these edges. This doorway hasn't been done, but the idea is that it's taking off at a 45-degree angle and just slithering off the edge of the stones. So that one's done, and you can see it's done because I've got it. You're now seeing the raw edge in dark grey. So this is a circular file, and what I'm doing then is I'm just going to start cutting in. Sorry about the noise in the background. Ozzy's got his mate Billy for a couple of hours to stay, and between them they're just a noisy pair. But there we go. I'm now just chipping out and chipping round the bend so it doesn't look so finished. And what I will do then is give it a small coat of acrylic paint to get rid of the dark grey, and just bringing that round, yeah, and chipping out, and it'll all look really quite good, I think. Well, it's certainly looking good in other areas. It all looks a bit of a mess. I tell you what, I do more clearing up than anything else with these bits. So there we go. That's one side done. I'm going to carry on with the other side. And the other point that I want to do is the edge of the building. So let me move round. Oh, pardon me. Let me see if I can get this now. So we've now got this here, and I'm going to do the same. And I'm taking off and round, and it will round off. Now, some areas I've already done this, so and it really isn't. It's not an exact science doing this. It's just, there we go. It's been quite brutal, actually. So if I bring that round and I bring the stonework round, sometimes you can actually get it to marry up with stonework round the corner. Now, for some reason, this is slightly loose, so I'm going to have to inject it with some more glue. And also it helps with those seams. So if I take that out and that, I can look, it looks as if I've got whole bricks going, stones going all the way around, which is good. It's interesting how I've lost my nerve a bit with actually doing the finish. I will do it, obviously. I've got to do it, otherwise it's just going to look awful. But I thought if I do these finishing bits, get this detail put in first, and then it'll probably help me when it comes to doing the actual finish. So that is all rounded there, which is really nice. This is looking really good, and pretty much everything's fine. I'm really pleased with this so far. It's really turning out quite nicely. I have got some seams that I just want to go over with a little bit of filler to try and disguise. There is a line going across here, and I just want to just keep filling, and that will help that. So this is, unfortunately, this is taking quite a while. I'm bringing you along on pretty much every step of the way, and I'm sorry if you're frustrated and you want to see the finished product. We're probably another 1 or 2 episodes off before I get to that. But in the meantime, I'm going to carry on, and then I'll show you what I've achieved so far. I'm just cleaning down, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a mix that's got a bit of this in, but I don't want it too yellow. So if I just bring that down to about that, and then I'm just going to finish off round here. so that none of the grey in the cladding is showing, but I just want to get this all in so it's looking as good as it can do. And I'm using water with this. And if I do this side now, let me bring that in and see if you can see it. It's me versus the camera here, sorry. So let me put that there. So I'm going to do this side now and get that all blocked in. So it's just a case of giving it good paint. And as I say, I've sealed off the wood frame, so that can't be seen. But this all needs to be done. A bit of water and help that just get into the gaps. And that's pretty much done. It's a real sploshing on job really, but let me take you over now. I've got the doorway done from the hall. I'm just looking at the top of this. This could probably just do with a little bit more. And where I need to, I'll just go in and add more. I don't want to be too fussy on it, but at the same time. So now I've got to this doorway, and I've got this side which needs attention. So it's just a case of blocking out the grey. And if I blocked out the grey, then that's fantastic. Right, so that side's done, just a bit over the top. And I'll do this side as well. That's a bad seam there, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a drain pipe down there, because obviously the rain coming off, I need to have an old-fashioned hopper, and then I'll run a drain pipe down that line, and you won't then see that anymore. But that's for later on with some finishing touches. And now if I come over to here, now these are a bit scrappy, these windows, but I've actually now got the wood ready to be fitted. I don't want to fit that until I know I've absolutely done everything I need to do. So that's real feel. I haven't done that side. That side hasn't been done, but I have done that window at the end. I'll just finish off. Sorry, I'll just finish off on that window. Got my pot of water there in view as well, so just grab a bit of water, mix a bit more up, and just fill in. I don't have to worry too much, because the framing out at these windows, as I say, I've got it all ready to go, but I can't do that until I know I've finished tutting. Getting this all sorted. I had a lovely email from Richard the other day giving me advice on this, but of course he's watching my programmes, and I'm working at about 2 weeks ahead with programmes, so with each episode. So he's giving me the advice, and his advice was really sound about actually laying the house on its side and putting the cladding on, and then weighing the cladding down. And of course that's not the way I've done it. I've done it in an upright position. So be advised, if you're doing anything like this, try and get the property laid flat so you can put the cladding down onto it, and then you can get some weight on it so as it really sticks in well. So if I bring you up, I've got the French door there, and I've got some wood in there, but I've done the edges on here as well, and all up here. That's all been done, and I just need to get that a little bit less grey, and then I can carry on. I'm coming up with the idea now for this cathedral window, but I need to just focus on the cladding for the moment. I've now done the stonework on the step part of the doll's house. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue, put blobs of glue all the way along and on the side pieces, and I'm just going to fit that now into place, and that creates a nice step along there. So I'm really pleased with that. That's going to look good. So I'll leave that to dry. It doesn't need clamping, it just needs to go off. So that's good. The next one along is now the doorstep for the grand hall. Oh, hang on, I got that the wrong way up. So that's the right way up, and that's going to fit in there. So again, glue along here, and I'm going to pop that into place and leave that to go off. What I will do at some point is I'll move it on the board, on this surface, move it, and it won't stick. And then the last step that I'm going to fit now ahead of everything is this one, and this is for the family room in the kitchen. And again, glue along and put that in there. So I'm really pleased with that. Now, the two windows I can't do yet, because what I need to do is I need to get the framework in that's going to hold the glass, and then also I need to put a thin batten to hold the glass into place. So I think that's going to be my next job. So I've marked it left, left, and left, right. So the idea is that I'm going to glue these into place, and they're going to fit. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. I'm going to glue it so it's flush with the inside, and that really is a tight and snug fit. Right, let's get the glue on that. So I've decided the only way to do the glazing is I need to do it on paper, and then what I'll do is lay the perspex over the top and cut according to the lines on the paper. I think what I do need to do is I just need to get another ruler, and I need to drop another line down, dividing these two windows up, otherwise it could get a little bit complicated. So let me put that line in, and I'll put that one back in a little bit bolder. Now what I do know is that it is 5 centimetres across on each one. So what I'll do is, if I put the top measurement in, I'll use my smaller ruler for this, and go across 5 centimetres. So I've got one going that way to 5, and the other one is going across to 5. Oh, careful, let's take that out. Okay, I need to run the bottom one, which is 5 from there, and the other one is roughly marked there. So the idea is that I can run the line down, all the way down, because it's the length that I haven't yet sorted. So I know that that's the width. That doesn't look right, and I don't know why. Maybe it's my glasses. Yeah, I seriously got to get these glasses sorted. They don't work when I'm doing this sort of thing. Right, so there we go. That's straight down as well. Okay, so one of them is 16. So let me just put the right hand side window is 16, 160 mil, but the left hand side is 163 mil. Now that's all to do with my cutting originally, and now I've installed the wood surround. So I'm going to drop a measurement there of 163. Drop the other measurement there, or let me put that down as left hand side, and that's 163. So I know that that window is correct on the left hand side, and this one is slightly shorter, but you're not really going to be able to see it, I don't think. I reckoned it would be different. So I'm going to drop the light. Hold on, let's just have a look at that. That doesn't look right. Hold on, let's measure that again. That's 1.6 to there, and that's 1.6 to there. Oh, it is right. Okay, so let's get that line dropped in there. So, oops, daisy. So, there we go. That's one window on the left-hand side, and the other one is a good deal shorter, which concerns me a little bit. I'm going to check those measurements. I know I've put them in now, but I am going to check those measurements because, yeah, there's quite a difference, isn't there? You know, at the bottom there, and that's a bit concerning, but you know something, you really can't tell when you're looking at it. I mean, it is what it is. It's an old house, and they got one okay and they didn't get the other okay. So I went out and found my box of glazing. There's a complete sheet there that I don't really want to be using. Oh, I got that, and I've got that. Right, let me just have a look at these though. Well, that one will fit, and let's have a look. That's going to fit as well. So out of my scrap box of glazing, I found two nice pieces. So let me just put everything else away and put that to one side. So I've got this now. Oh, and one of these pieces is really almost the right, in fact it is, it's the right size. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to try and hold this down now, and I'll cut across the top. I can just see the line there. I'm going to cut across the top. I've got to just shave off a little bit along that edge, and then that will do for one side. And then this side, I've got two nice straight edges, so I'll just cut on there. Actually, let's do that one first, because that really is probably going to be the easiest to do. Right, here goes. It's the following morning, And yesterday, very quietly, I put the Perspex in on these windows. And if I show you now, if I come over to my workbench, I have now got some strips of wood all measured out, ready. These are 1 mil by 3 mil. They're very fine. And what I'm going to do is just going to coat them in a sort of a creamy colour to match the outside. And then I will install those with some glue and glaze. And then those will be the side windows in the family kitchen area complete. Well, that's going to be it for this week. I will carry on. I will install all that trim around the windows in the family area of the kitchen. And I will also just check over everything that I've done and make sure I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to have to really start thinking about painting this cladding and getting the colours right and everything. Anyway, that's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed coming along with me. It's been a bit repetitive. Hopefully I can make it a little bit more interesting next week. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going now. Take care. Have a great week. Enjoy whatever you're doing, and I'll see you next Saturday. Okay, bye for now. Bye.